Hello everyone, welcome back. So tonight I thought I would go through and actually spend some time building an application again. I've enjoyed actually going through and building things out. The material design project is coming along. A huge thanks to Michael. He's been doing a bunch of work around adding the material design 3 spec into the library, which has been awesome. I've been poking along on the theme brushes work. You can see the updates in the branch there. It's getting there. It's starting to get a little more nitpicky on how things need to work, and I'd like to get it merged soon so we can start working on some of the renames. But rest assured, everything will be backwards compatible until the 5.0 release. But for tonight, I wanted to talk about GitKraken. So let me actually switch gears here real quick. Boom. So latest release of GitKraken came out, version 8.2. You can see it dropped on December 13th. So 3 days ago for me. If you're watching the recording of this, like 6+ days ago for you. And there's a lot of great stuff, tons of release notes, yada, yada, yada. This is the part that's important to me. So they added in theme editing support. So obviously, if you want to go through and customize it, that is great. If you're looking for the option, so File, Preferences, and under UI Customization, you'll note there's this new theme drop down. And more importantly, rather than just the built-in themes that were here before, so you've got your high contrast, your light and dark, and sync with system, which is pretty cool. So if you wanted to just, at least on Windows, follow your Windows system light dark, that's great. But you'll note I made my own custom one here. So that's what we were diving into. It's not hard to do. If you just click on the link here, it'll take you into the directory where these are stored, and there's a README buried right here next to it. And assuming I can open it, let's see, let's go bigger. You can see the description of making your own theme, which is, it's not difficult. It basically boils down to copy one of the default themes. So if you want to base yours on light or dark, copy the appropriate thing there. Drop the hyphen default off the end of the name of it, and give you some unique name. Open it in a text editor, huzzah. Change the metadata name to something friendly for yours. In my case, I just put my name on it. And then, right like that, it'll immediately show up in GitKraken, which is pretty cool. And as you change values in here, for example, you can see I went very, very red, right? If I decided that red was actually going to be, you know, if I wanted to make my red all green, we can come over here and then these are preferences. And where do I see a red button? Let's see, red is like the trash can when there's an editable change. There. My previously red button is now green. We can make it bigger too. So, red button is now green. Huzzah. Don't recommend it. As you can see, I was playing around with it and I got some bright, I made my green very, very green, and well, now my red is green, so we should put the red back. Let's make the red red again. So if we go back here, right? So do RGB codes there, boom. And now my red is back to being red again, and everyone's happy. So I figured it would be a pretty simple thing to go through and build out a theme editor, and not surprising, one of the other GitKraken ambassadors is already hard at work on it. So people are interested. There's one that's out there now, and let me see, I believe I have the repo link for it as well. I mean, I can find it. Where did I see it? Where did I see it? There's not a link on here to it, is there? I just had it open. Hang on, sorry. Not prepared for that one. Let's see. There it is. There's the link. So, if people are interested and you're more of a web person than a WPF person, there's that. Now, the one thing I was thinking is I was going to build a WPF app because that's what I do. But the nice thing about a WPF app is we could do some fun interaction with like file watchers. So I know people would always love to say, hey, you know, it'd be really great to see where in the app that is. That's true, but if I can automatically hot modify the files, I can, rather than showing you what it might look like in GitKraken, I can just update GitKraken. So we're gonna do that. That sounds pretty cool. So let's build it. Let's build it. And I'm gonna go kind of fast, but I'm gonna try to talk my way through it. So what I've got, I created a repo here called Color Kraken, because naturally we are going to color the Kraken. I went file new project on WPF. I added in a couple NuGet packages. So I've got material design, obviously, and I've got the Microsoft MVVM toolkit. That's it. We probably need some more stuff. That's about all. This is a Net 6 app because latest and greatest, and let's party and have some fun. So that's all there is to it. So let's get a rolling. So first thing we want to do, let's get material design set up because that sounds like a great idea. So if we just go and take a quick gander here over at the demo application. So I kind of want to just grab some of this stuff because this is kind of like the starting stuffs. So let's do resource dictionary. We don't need all this stuff. So we're going to throw away this. We're going to throw away the material design 3 stuff. Don't need that. Don't need the XAML displayer stuff. Oh, actually, I take that back. I do need, but I need this to be material design defaults. Material design .defaults, I believe. We're going to get rid of that. And then we got to include the reference here. And then I'm trying to think what we might do. Let's do something a little more fun. Rather than doing one of the bundled theme colors, I got an idea. Let's do this. So we're going to start with this. We're going to have the base thing be inherit because I want it to follow my Windows theme. But rather than doing this, let's actually grab the GitKraken color for our primary. So I think I just screenshot it. Yeah, I think the value we're looking for is going to be something about like that. And then as a secondary color, let's just look. Where'd my GitKraken page? What's a good secondary color? We could do orange as a secondary. Might be a little bright, but you know what? Let's see. Screenshot that beast. So one of my favorite tricks is just do that, and then paint.net, and boom, there's an RGB color code. Yes, I'm aware you can F12, dev tools, find stuff, yada, yada, yada. That's a lot of work. Boom. And I want to double check that theme dictionary one, because I'm realizing I expanded out the Material Design 3 demo, not the main one. I want to make sure I get this file name correct because it looks to be squawking, and there. Muchos better. Okay, so we'll use a custom color theme rather than one of the built-in colors. Boom. So we'll clean that up, clean that up, clean that up. Bippity boppity booyah. We'll come over to our main window. Let's see. Style. Static resource. Material design window. Poof. We'll get ourselves some theming stuff there going on, which is great. Let's see. So what do we want the layout of this app to look like? So I'm kind of thinking. Just going out loud here real quick. Really what we have is we've got just one big thingy of JSON that we're going to be working with. The metadata only has a name and a scheme. So I'm kind of thinking and then the theme values here actually have 3 sections, at least currently. And I'm trying to kind of future-proof myself a little bit because I can see a use case where future versions of GitKraken either add more brushes here or add more sections or whatnot. And I don't want to have to release updates when that happens. That just sounds, yeah. And I'm kind of curious, can I get away with something like this? Can I add my own stuff to this? Is GitKraken hip to that? Seems to be hip to that. I'm kind of wondering if we can do something like color Kraken based on. Because if I knew that, then I have a link back to where the original source is, and then as things change, I can just dip back to that. That sounds cool. That sounds cool. Okay, so when you fire up the app, I'm kind of picturing you're going to need to do, let's see, I'm thinking maybe a drop down at the top showing all your existing ones that you can pick from, or maybe, and then maybe a new button to the right of that. So if we do something like that, it kind of sounds like a color zone to me along the top. Give me the include. Boom, thank you. And so let's see, in terms of layout, that's going to be a grid with at least 2 rows. So I'm going to need a row along the top. Height will be auto for now. Let's see, and then I want another second row, and we'll just have it fill the rest of the remaining space. Color zone here. Let's go with mode. Primary light, maybe. Let's expand this out. Okay, so inside of here, I'm kind of thinking, let's just go simple for the moment. Stack panel, orientation horizontal, right? And then we'll do a combo box. Yeah, let's just do that for a moment, and then we'll do a button with content of new. For those people who are unfamiliar with that underscore, what that is an accessor key. So if you hit Alt, you can do Alt N. We could wire up other shortcuts, but we'll do that for now. So let's go with Command, binding, and then we will do new theme command. And let's actually go through, let's get a view model going for this. So, boom, like I said, I'm going to go kind of quick. I'm going to just see how fast we can go. Main window view model. But even going quick, if people have questions, feel free to stop me. Ask questions. I definitely do not mind rabbit trailing. So let's see. Observable object. I can type. Boom. Was that really the one that I wanted? I thought I didn't think it was inside of a component model, but nope, that's the one. Treat. Okay, and then we are going to go here, and I think for now I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to put my view model just straight in line. Main window view model. Boom. Done. Okay, what's your problem? Yeah, you'll figure it out. And then this command, create command, figured it out for me. Great. Great. We probably need to build it so that it's a little less unhappy with me. We'll go and fix up the naming. So there's my command, and let's just, I can already kind of foresee a little bit of an issue here. So this is going to have something like min width of 200, maybe a little margin around it. Let's do at least, I don't know, 10 on the sides, and maybe at least 3 on top, or 3 vertical. Yeah, let's go with something like that. And then this guy here, vertical alignment center, just to kind of bring it in. There's probably not going to be much around it, but we'll let it float like there for now. Something like that, something like that. Not bad. We might need to change the style on it, but we'll go with it for now. Okay, so there's the color zone. So then down in the main area, I'm trying to think of how I want this interaction to work. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of like name value / groupings type thing. I'm trying to decide if I want to do, is it worth doing expandable groups? Or do I just want a flat list? Let's do expandable groups. So I'm going to go with a scroll viewer for starters. So grid, row. So anytime you have something that's data driven that can theoretically grow by a lot, always make sure it's either in a control that scrolls or is inside of a scroll viewer. It's an easy way to get yourself fit, just to try to make things lay out nicely. So we'll slap a scroll viewer on there, and then inside of that I'm going to do an items control. Now this is almost a list box. Almost. Except for our list box has selection. I don't really want selection. So we're going to go with this. So let's see. Item source. We'll go with binding. And how about category? What do you call that? Theme categories. Boom. And then create property for me. Great, thanks. That way we know what we have to do inside of here. So item, and then while we're inside, let's go and create up a few more things. So add new item. So let's create a, well, I guess we'll just create it here. Oh, hey. We're on new C#. We can do stuff like that now. Boom. Let's leverage it. Leverage it. There. Reduce nesting. C#10. Worthwhile feature to turn on. Okay, so let's go with public class, theme, category. Boom. And this thing will have something like a name. That's a little creepy that it knew exactly that I wanted that. And then inside of it, there's not really much to play with beyond that. Because I'm kind of thinking we'll have root, toolbar, and tabs bar. Kind of thinking that'll be those. And then inside of here, it really just needs theme colors. Yeah, let's go theme color. So let's go with public class theme color. Boom. And so this will need a public string name. Get set, and you'll note it does have nullable reference types turned on. Public string value, and I'm intentionally doing value here because you'll note that on a lot of these they support not just RGB colors, but like CSS stuff for like lightening and darkening and that kind of stuff. So it's like great, and you can tell that a lot of the color properties up here drive a lot of this, and then often those things will end up getting reused throughout all of this. So huzzah. Okay, so this guy here is going to be a public, let's see, I read only list of theme color. And how about colors? Get. Boom. What? No, not linked list. Not what I want. Thank you. We'll do something kind of like that for now. And then you need to not be so ugly. Observable collection. Boom. So the idea here is observable collection is like a list, except for it has an extra event on it called I notify collection changed. That event is what the binding engine uses to know when things in the collection have changed, as the name would imply. Fixed name violation, thank you. And actually, I think what we can do is we can just do this. Gets new. Boom. Don't even need that anymore. Okay. Boom. I don't really think we need this whole thing here. I think we're just going to do the same doohickey here. Let's see. So it does it to avoid having to do it inside of a constructor, but we're just going to... I kind of prefer the constructor myself. New theme command. Okay, so we got a command. Okay, so that's going to fire up. That's going to get going. Let's go through and finish out our XAML here, and then we will write some code to load them. So the combo box itself, we never finished out. And actually, probably indicates that we need one more thing. Let's see. Public class theme. Public string, yeah. Okay, so let's do the combo box first. So we'll do the drop down. So let's go with item source. I'm going to bind you to themes. Property, thanks. Combo. Spelling is hard some days. Let's see. Item template. Boom. Let's see. Data template. Data type. This is going to be, let's see, theme from the local namespace, pretty please. And this, for now, we're just going to keep it simple. Text, binding, the name property. Boom. Okay, so it'll be a very simple thing. I realized we could get away with doing some other fancy stuff with, like, the, oh yeah, turn it on. The display member path and that kind of thing. But I have high hopes of putting more in that template than just a straight string. So this is prepping for stuff I think I might want. Okay, so there's the combo box. Huzzah. Let's see, the items control. Let's see. Items control, item template. Right, so this guy here is going to be a data template. And for those people unfamiliar with data templates, this is just a way to say for each item in this collection, here's how I want you to render it. It would be quite handy, especially for what we're doing. Let's go with theme category. And I think what we're going to do here is go with an expander. We're going to make the header bound to the name. Boom. And then we're going to do is expanded is going to start out as true in all of these. And then inside of here, we're going to go with an items control, item source. And it's worth noting, so this binding here, once you get inside of a data template, the context that you're binding to, meaning the object you're binding is going to look at to find the property, changes once you get inside of a data template. So outside of the data template, this binding is looking at my main window view model. But then once it gets inside of the data template, it knows, okay, this binding here is no longer my main window view model. It's now the individual property on this theme category. So that's how that works. Okay, items control binding, and this is going to be, let's see, colors apparently is what I named it. You'll note I am getting IntelliSense because I have told it the types that I'm playing with. If you are not on Visual Studio 2022, this is a reason alone to upgrade to it. The XAML tooling got a nice bump in VS22, which is awesome. So if you are not playing with it, I recommend you try it. So let's see, items control, item template, data template, let's see, data type, X type, let's go with local, theme color, boom, boom. Okay, so now we got to do, so for each of the individual brushes in here, I think what we're going to do is we're going to slap in a grid, and then we're going to end up needing to do a shared size scope because I kind of want all of these to line up nicely. Let me explain what I mean. So this grid here is going to consist of two columns. So the first column, let's see, what is it? Shared size group, color name, right? And we're gonna go with width of auto. And then the second one, we're gonna go with column definition, shared size group, color value, I guess. And then, I mean, I could do width star, but that's also the same as just closing it. So we're gonna go there. So the first one, text block, text, binding gets name. And then the second one, we will go with text box, text, binding, value. Now, I think I'm going to add in some additional columns because I want to have like a color picker and that kind of thing. So that's a thing that I think I want. But we're going to add that in a minute. First, we're going to get this much working. So when you do a shared size group in a grid, what it will do is it will find all grid cells that are in that same size group and size them equally. So if this says auto, it'll be as big as the smallest one, or I'm sorry, the column will size out to fit the biggest one in there. So it'll make them all size equally. But given that, you also need to tell it where what the scope is for this. Show is shared size scope, and I think I've got this right. We'll know in a minute. We'll know in a minute when we fire it up. So this should be enough to actually see it load stuff. So let's actually load up the files. So go down here. This needs to not be an enumerable thing. This is going to be an observable collection of theme. Get rid of that. Get rid of all that. New. Now the one thing I would like to do is I want to load these themes in a background thread. So observable collection by default is not thread safe. If you raise the collection changed event on a background thread, that will get sent to the UI. The UI will get that and you'll get an exception. That is not good. So there are a bunch of ways you could deal with that. Let's see. Binding operations. The easiest is there is a magical method called enable collection synchronization, where you give it the collection, themes, and then you give it a sync object, effectively something to lock on, to synchronize access to it. And we're going to do that with both of these because I think we're going to load them all up in background threads, and I don't want to think too hard. So that's the easy way of doing it. You can also use the dispatcher. You can also do your own locking and all that jazz. But if you don't want to think too hard, bear in mind this does have a small performance hit to it. Kind of a large performance hit. Depends on what you're doing. It means that every time you want to mutate this collection, or add, remove, clear, etc., it has to effectively do some locking and synchronization. So that will slow down adding to the collection, with the benefit of being able to do it from the background thread. So you can pick what you want. So there are multiple ways of handling it. This is Lazy Man's way of doing it. So let's go ahead and do, let's see here, load themes. We might do a generate me method. Okay. And we might end up going through and doing some of this on a file watch or two or something. So we might get fancy. We might get fancy. Okay, so let's do this. So let's go. I'm gonna try to keep everything in the same spot. So private static enumerable theme get themes. I'm not sure if this really needs to be static or if this should just be inside of here, but we're gonna separate it out for now. So for each, actually, let's try catch because we don't necessarily do go error. We should actually show that error. We'll deal with that in a minute. So for each of our file in directory, boom, enumerate files, and we're gonna grab, let's see, so this is going to be, what is it? It's under path, no, it's environment, folder path, yes, that's what I'm looking for. So special folder, and I believe we were underneath app data, if I remember right. Where was that lovely directory? Got too many folders open. Gotta close some stuff down. Boom. Yes, we are under roaming app data.getkraken.themes. So I think what we can do, string theme directory. So we're gonna just break this up. Path, combine, we're gonna do this. Not that WPF is cross-plat, but if you are writing any cross-platform code or you might want to share it at some point, use path combine. Otherwise, you have to deal with the slashes and all that jazz. You can also kind of get away with cheating and just always using / because Windows is more hip to it and Linux is not hip to \. Okay. I think that'll get us to the right place, but we will test that to confirm. That'll get us there. That'll get us the file. So we get back a var is not clear here. Use explicit type. I don't know why you think that is nullable. Great. Okay, so here what we would like to do is we'd like to pull in the file and read it. So let's see, system x.json. I believe it's with a JSON document. Parse. Do you have anything that just takes in? That's just a straight stream. That'll work. Ooh, we can do async enumerable. Let's go that way. Get all fancy. Boom. We'll do an await here. We theoretically could run these in parallel. I don't think that's worth it. I think having things come through in a nice, consistent manner, I highly doubt it's going to be enough to warrant a performance change. So this wants UTF JSON. So using so we can just go stream here. File stream gets file dot open read, and we'll feed it the file path. Boom, boom, boom. I am wondering if maybe my try catch should be nested a little deeper. I'm not gonna think about it. Not even gonna think about it. File stream. Boom. And this gives me back a JSON doc. Sweet. Doc. Let's do that. Boom. Okay. So, and then doc. I'm trying to remember these APIs. Can I just go? I'm trying to remember exactly what all is on this. This. I could read over it. Kind of like to just pull this thing out. Isn't there do not support a string indexer? Thought it. Oh, we might need to do this. I vaguely remember because this is a JSON C file, and we are definitely going to need to pass JSON serializer options. So var options gets new JSON serializer option. Ooh, wait, it's sharp 10. Sharp 10. Boom. And we need to set something about comments. Read comment handling. Yes, we need to tell it to do this because comments will make most JSON parsers go blah. And we will allow, let's see, do we care if we could skip or allow? I think we're gonna allow. I don't know if we're gonna do anything with them, but we'll turn them on for now. We will turn them on for now. But yeah, see, I was wondering about that. I think we might need to go with JSON serializer, deserialize. Yeah, because it really wants to go into a type. Isn't there don't you have a generic? I guess we can always just deserialize. Oh, we can just deserialize dictionary object. Right? I think that works. Boom. I hope this works. find out here in a second. File stream, options, boom. I'm trying to decide if I just deserialize everything all at once and be done with this. Kind of seems wasteful since we're only ever going to load up one. So let's go with kind of felt like I should be able to do. Let's ask the Googles. Can I use dynamic? It'd be really cool if I could do a lot of more loose typing JSON. Dictionary key policy. You do not need. Yeah, but the thing is I kind of want to just hunt out. Net 6 JSON node. This sounds like what I want. Yeah, I'd like one of these thingies. Is a JSON object a JSON node? Look at that. That's kind of what I want to deserialize into. Boom. That's what I'd like. I assume what I can do is that. Gimme. Boom. Okay, so still call it doc at the moment, but then I would like to go with doc sub that dual indexers. I want to pull open root, and let's pull open. I don't care about you. I don't care about you anymore. I want VS Code. Let's see, what do we got? We want to go from there. I want to go with meta name. So it actually should be meta or metadata. I assume you return back. Oh, you are potentially null. Let's do this. So if is boom there. And I assume you are nullable. Yep. So we're gonna just keep pattern matching all the way in. So is JSON object metadata and not string is null or white space metadata sub name. Actually, wonder what that's going to return. JSON value. And I assume I can do name value, something about value, as value, get value. A little big. Good enough. So let's see. Theme gets new. We'll want to clean this up a bit, but it will be good enough to prove out what I want to do. Yield return theme. Cannot yield a value in the body of a try block with a catch clause. Oh, that kind of makes sense. So let's pull this out. Pull you apart. Pull you apart. I'm gonna move you up here. I do need the using here. Catch. An object. Boom. JSON object. Oop. Page up, page down is hard. Let's do that. That goes like that. That goes like that. That goes like that. To do. If we hit an error, we'll just iterate. This an object is not null, and there. Okay, so await, reach, theme, and get themes, and we're gonna go with themes clear. Let's see. Themes add theme. Boom! Something like that. This lacks an await. Really? It might actually be faster. It might actually be faster to not have an async enumerable. I'm wondering which is going to run faster. No, let's over optimization. Don't pre-optimize. Don't pre-optimize. Async enumerable. Okay, you happier now? Gotten a wait. We got a to do. Throw it away for now. Come back to it. Let's run it. It works the first time. I would be very shocked. Code should not work the first time. Oh. So that's an issue. We didn't really give ourselves any buttons to play with, so let's just go here. Let's relaunch, and we probably should catch that a little earlier. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with, if it didn't hit inside our for each, it probably means that it is not loading the correct directory. So let's start with this. Is that the right directory? Looks right off the top of my head. Seems it. I'm realizing we probably should be a little more intelligent about which files we're going to load. I'm sorry. Argument out of range exception. What was out of range? Huh? Huh? Okay, so the task run is biting us by swallowing up exceptions and making our life miserable. So we're gonna go there. There. Let's relaunch and figure out where the heck, why the file path was not supposed to be the complicated part of this. Okay. Oh, something about the JSON options constructors throwing. Okay. What does your constructor take? There's some general. Really? setter do something funky on me? That's not real helpful. Try this again. I'm surprised I didn't hit. So we hit there. F11. Comments cannot be stored when deserializing objects. Only the skip and disallow comment handling modes are supported. Well then, that makes that choice pretty easy now, doesn't it? There we are. Now, I have a feeling we're gonna probably need to be a little more smart about how we deserialize. Got a theme? Guess which file was this that had the... Oh, yeah, see, this is the part where we should probably be a little more intelligent about what we're reading. So, aside from the... Not bad at all, in my opinion. Okay. That'll work. So, aside from that thing just choking, we should be smarter about what files we load in. Yeah, or we can just suppress the exception. We can probably be smarter, but well, let's do that. Let's keep going though. Okay, so we need something to know what theme gets selected and then do stuff with it. So private theme, selected theme. Oh, this is not the property. This is going to be the field. Boom. Public theme, selected theme. And then this, I think we're going to break this out. So if set property, this is one of the reasons for using the MVVM library that we did. Okay, because when the theme gets selected, we want to actually load theme brushes. Pass in the value. We may end up needing to do cancellation stuff and that kind of thing. Let's see. So this is going to be null. And we'll go down here. Boom. String. Well, we won't worry about this now. For now, what we'll do is we're just going to blind do this. So selected theme gets themes first or default. We'll just preemptively select the first one. No point in making it weird. Boom. Now it's worth noting, this is going to trigger the setter, which is then going to pass into here, which is then going to trigger this. So we'll start with this. If value is null, return. But if the value is in fact null, what we also want to do is theme. What was the other collection we made? Theme categories. That guy's going to get loaded up here. Theme categories, clear. Thinking this needs to be like this just to match the other one, and this will be a test run. Which again, we got to be a little careful on because that can suppress exceptions on us, but we'll wrap that up in a pretty bow in a minute. Maybe. So I think in this case, what we're going to do now is go. This is the point where we're going to actually reread all the stuff. So we'll do that. We'll do start with something kind of similar to what we did before. Can't do that with the exception. Bar, boom. Okay, and so this is going to be, so the theme, we need to keep a reference back to the file path. So You'll note these are all just auto properties. At some point, I think I'm going to make them. Actually, there's no reason to not make these records. We can actually go one step further. String name, string file path. No reason to work hard when I don't have to. Whoop. Give me up arrows. Boom. There. Which just means this becomes that, and then this becomes file. Boom. Yeah. So name, file path. Great. Value, path. Got the try catch to deal with like file missing and that kind of thing, so we won't worry about it. And then we've got this. So now that we are inside of there, let's pull out the theme values. Let's see. JSON object theme values gets JSON object theme values. Is JSON object theme values. Boom. Is that an array or an object? It's an object. I just want to iterate over its children. Okay. We'll do null propagation there. For each child in theme values. Will you give me? Are you iterable? Oh, you make me so happy. You make me so happy right now. Okay, so this is going to be what? String. Oh, this is. What are you iterable as? You're a collection of a key value pair, and key value pair does have a deconstruct. So here's the cool part. So what we can actually do is we can do something like this. String name, and the other one was a JSON node. JSON node child. So if we do this, we go var like that. No, just that. And then make you nullable. That, so what that has actually done is it's now doing a for each, but I'm going to have 2 iterator variables instead of 1, which is awesome. Okay. Child is null, continue. The autocode is really on fire tonight. Okay, so let's see. I'm wondering if I should bring some of these guys down into another async enumerable like we did before. Let's do it. Private static async async enumerable. Let's go with theme category. Get categories. Boom. Okay. That'll keep iterating, and then our category gets new theme category. And I'm thinking what I might do down here, I don't know if there's any reason to not make you a record too, aside from the fact that I can't spell record. Boom. And then I don't need any of this stuff. And we're going to do this as well. Boom. Okay, so that'll make this easy. I'm thinking making them records will actually be helpful if we want to do like a based on type thing and do some comparison stuff. Because now I'll have a default equality built into this, which is sick. Wish the equality would play nice with that. Okay, That is a problem for a later day. Let's see. So theme category gets new. And so this is going to be name. And obviously I'm going to need to get a list of colors, which means I'm going to need to iterate over this. If child is not JSON object, reach, and this should now iterate over all of the things in here. I think we just do another for each to get all of the brushes. So we can probably be even smarter than that. Child object select, because this is now going to be a key value pair. So JSON node. Can I get away with that? I think I can get away with this. Don't think it'll let me deconstruct like that, which is a little thing. This looks like TypeScript. Welcome. I'm probably gonna butcher this. Quest Loco 1. So not TypeScript. So this is actually C#. But I am leveraging, like, C# has changed a lot in the last several releases. So this is latest and greatest stuff. Oh, it's still just Justin. Oh, Justin, jerk. So, Justin, you'll be happy to know that if for anybody who missed at the beginning, latest GitKraken has custom theming built in, so preferences, UI customization, and whatnot. It's just a fancy JSON file. You edit it like you would like a VS Code thing, but naturally I want to make a pretty editor for it, so I'm doing that. Oh, definitely. And more importantly, you can now make company specific themes with people's special color themes built in. If you ask nicely, I'll give you the one that I made earlier. It has a lot of colors. As you can see, my green button is very green and my red button is very red. Simply because Kevin's red color is set to very red and green is set to very green. No, there is not a central deploy location. However, if you can get the JSON file into the app data directory, it'll show up as a list of options. I don't even think there's a way to pre-select it. And no, it's just theming. And I believe in addition to just theming, it's just colors. I mean, you could kind of hide an element if you got fancy with like making the foreground and background, but yeah, it's more or less just theming. It's not a lot of customization. And I'm trying to build this in such a way that I suspect future versions of GitKraken will have more brushes in them. So I'm trying to avoid hard coding anything into this as best I can. That's the goal, at least. So, right. So I want to, let's see, key value pair into new hard code literally. Oh, this is and scale it only to your screen size. The problem is there are some apps that might take that as seriousness. So anyone listening, Justin's wrong. Very, very wrong. Okay, so there's the name, and then KVP value, get value as a string. Pretty please. Boom. That should give me all the brushes. Oh, I'm wondering if maybe I should be a little more intelligent about checking to make sure I actually have a value in there first. Grumble, grumble, grumble. string value gets, let's see, child, get value string. We'll just be intelligent. So if string is null or white space, value will just skip it, I think. Yeah, we'll just drop it. Oh, but this isn't. I'm trying to make a chat bot in Node for Twitch that allows you to manage Spotify API, and I've forgotten like everything. Programming is like riding a bike. It'll come back to you. Be patient. This is not quite right. This is not going to work like that because this... Okay, I'm gonna just do it for each, I think. Yeah. List, theme color, colors gets new, and then we'll do it for each so I can deconstruct again. The deconstruction is just so convenient. Boom. Okay, so this will be color name, color node in child, and right. Oh, child object. I need to make sure I use the right object there, and then this here is just going to be colors to be done with it. Okay. If color node, actually let's go with string value gets color node get value as string, and we'll just do that because now we'll just fail early on it. So if string is null or white space, value, continue, otherwise colors, add new theme color, color name, value. Don't help me. Don't help me. We're good. We're good. Okay, so that loads that up. That loads that up. And actually, yield return. Oh. What is it? No, it is yield return. Yield return. What are you unhappy about? Not yield in the... Oh, it's the same try-catch problem. We're going to just ignore all... we're going to just move it up here. Exception EX do for each value. Boom. We should probably implement cancellation and all that jazz, but whatever. That is a problem for another day. Oh, this needs to be an await for each because that's an async enumerable. Explicit type, and then theme, categories, add category, and okay. With any luck, it just works the first time, and I'm terrified that the code works. Well, it threw an exception. Oh, that exception we expect because we aren't filtering out markdown files yet. Oh, so aside from the fact that, hang on, we could probably fix this on the fly. So clearly there's something wrong with my grid. So if we go back here, the issue is I put both of these things in column 1. So you go to the next column. That didn't update. Hot reload? No? Okay, hot reload, you're only so good. Oh, quit loading on the other one. Oh, booyah. So, it's kind of cool that I can do this. Kind of wish the things were expanding better. Let's see. Horizontal content alignment stretch, because this guy's going across. I'm gonna just grab Snoop real quick. It's getting closer, but that is not quite what one would want to see. Okay, Snoop, sit over here real quick. I just want to figure out where. Okay, so there's my expander, there's my that's the header. I want dock panel, content site, content pane, content items control. So the items control is spanning the whole width, which is good. I probably need to get a little left margin on there. Clean that up. That guy is spanning. That guy is spanning. Why is this text box so narrow given that my grid has a... Oh. It has a shared size group. I think we turn you off. And just let you fill the remaining space. I think that's what we want. Let's try this again. Oh, hey, there's some red, and there it goes all the way across. Imagine having a shared size group. You know, it's kind of cool, isn't it? Because you'll note that the size of these columns now, I'm wondering, so it's actually a little jarring having the shared size group occurring across each of these. And I kind of want to bounce this up a little higher to this, because then the columns will size appropriately across each of the expanders. Yeah, that looks a little nicer, because now as I go across the expanders, they're still in there, which is muchos better. Okay, so let's get a little margin in here. So maybe like a 10-2. Oh, and of course you aren't going to update. Darn you. Note to self, sending feedback later. Really great. And it'd also be great if it would remember to open over here where I asked it to. So there, that's not bad. That's a little better. That's a little better. Now we just got to be able to make changes for system. And, well, this thing isn't showing. It didn't, even though it loaded it down here. Oh, the combo box isn't set up for selection changed yet. That's what we didn't do. Selected item, binding, selected thing. There. Let's actually have selection work. Now when I like, why are there two GitKraken darks? It is loading, but it is. I'm also noticing that it is going kind of. There's that little hang. I might want to clean that up. I don't like when it hangs like that. We can probably clean that up a little bit. So I think the easy way to clean that one up is going to be this becomes a list rather than a, yeah, so I think we're gonna change this up a little bit. So Private. Normally you shouldn't do optimization until you actually have functionality, but that little hang is going to bother me now. Let's see. Theme categories. You're going to be nullable. And then you actually need to become a real property. So let's see. So theme categories, set. Oh, I guess I can just expression body this thing. So because we're just loading these things all, let's see, set property ref, theme categories, boom. What are you squawking about? Make field read only. Figure out that that's not valid. Oh, ability differences don't line up. That's null. Okay. So that lands there. That's going to go like that. And so load theme brushes now is going to be theme categories is going to get null. Bar categories gets new. Target type new. Boom. And then we will go theme categories gets categories. There, that should clean that up. So now rather than doing that overhead with the observable collection, since we really are just going one shot at it. So still hangs that a little bit, and bothers me that doesn't finish animating. I don't know why that is. I'll have to look at why the UI thread is doing that, because it's very explicitly on a background thread. Interesting. I wonder if it's not actually the loading that's slow, but instead the UI refresh, which is possible. If we do wait task delay, it's normally adding in an arbitrary slowdown loop doesn't make things go quicker unless animations are at play. In which case things can feel quicker even if they aren't. Got it. So this null is what's doing it. That should. So it's the UI layout. That will do it. Okay, so let's try. Still not overly happy with it, but we'll work with it. It'll be fine for now. Okay, let's get this thing actually going. So I would like a color picker. Is part of the whole reason for doing this. So column definition, and I guess the question is, where should the color picker go? I'm thinking just to the left here would be a nice place to put it. So column definition with auto. So we're gonna put that guy above, and then that's gonna push you over a column. And then in here we will do a let's see, pop-up box. Then we will do a color picker. Let's see what that looks like real quick. Oh, dang it. Did the same thing again. Grid, column 1. I'm really bad about remembering to push things over. Okay, so... that is a little tiny for my likes. So let's go with a width, I don't know, 300, height 200. Be big, please. Extra points if you remember to load over on this window. Okay, so that's a little better. Let's see, I probably want something more like stays open, if possible. Yeah, so let's go with stays open true. And then, is that a good size for it? Not close. And I want an icon for this. So let's go here. Let's look at our icons list. What do we got to play with? So, something that has the word picker in it, maybe. Dropper. Yeah, maybe going with one of the eyedropper ones. Yeah, we'll just use kind eyedropper, and that looks better. So to change that, it is, what is it? It's like pop-up content, or see, it's bad when I can't even remember the name of it. Let's see here. So if we go to buttons. Let's see, placement. Where is the... Really should add one more in here with custom setup. Let's go here. That's a bad experience. I should fix that. Because it supports it, I just don't remember the name of it, and now I have to go and look it up because it's not well documented. Toggle content. See, that is not useful. Okay, so material design, pack icon, kind, eyedropper. Boom. Okay, so we'll do something more like that. That'll change that out. That'll change that. And then we're going to need to do something about setting the selected color. So this is going to be a... Yeah, we'll need to set up some sort of fancy binding on it. I'm kind of wondering how this should work. If you click the color picker thing... Oh, that did not set the foreground appropriately. No bueno, no bueno, no bueno, no bueno. So, material design. Toggle content. Boom. Pack icon, kind, a dropper. Okay, that should, if that doesn't pick up the foreground, I'm going to be a little shocked. Because it should. Oh, it doesn't. Interesting. I might have to look at why that is. Let's see, so... dynamic resource, material design, paper. That it's either paper or this is why I've been trying to rename the brushes, because not having good IntelliSense on them and having weirdo names. No, see, papers, see, and I already can't even remember. So let's look at what is the foreground color of the window set. Body, of course. How silly of me. Okay, that's better. Might even change it to an accent color or something. Yeah, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little text box with the RGB in it, and then have an OK button to select. I think is what we're going to do. So let's change this guy out. So this guy's going to need a let's do a grid. Do a grid. Those grids are the best. And a little deeply nested. Just give me some more. Need some horizontal space to play in. Okay. So let's see. On the grid, we're going to do grid row definitions. The first one is going to fill all the empty space. The second one is going to have height of auto. And then let's do a couple columns. Grid column definitions. Let's see, I'm thinking the first one is going to fill as much space as needed. The second column with auto. This will just ensure that our OK button goes to the bottom right-hand corner. So this guy is going to be grid column span of 2, because I just want the color picker to take up all of it. I want a text box there. Figure out what to do with this here in a minute. I'm going to be smart while I'm thinking about it. Put it in the second row. Then we're going to do, let's see, button, content, OK, is default true, and then trying to decide if I need something more complex or if I can just bind this guy to something. Does the pop-up box take in a... Now I'm curious, does this guy have a routed event? Close pop-up command. He does. But does it have a parameter? Oh, look at that. I think we can cheat the system here. I think we can cheat. So let's go with command x static material design pop-up box close pop-up command. Let him fire that off, so that'll close it. Okay, and then text. I think what we're going to do is just bind this guy in to the color picker. So it'll be the color property on the element name of color picker with a string format of I got too many there. I think it's 0:x2 if I'm not mistaken. Might have to look up that format string, but I think that's the one that'll do it. It might not, because x2 might be a numeric separator and it might not work on... Okay, so a couple things. I did not put my button in the right place. What a shock. I'm getting a replication now. Grid row 1, grid column 1. So that there. Oh, and the button, oh, it's sitting over the top of everything. Ugh. Like, why is it not letting me click on anything? Well, that's what happens with Z orders. Okay, so let's go here. Okay, so that row is really tall. Why is it so tall? Which element is vertical alignment bottom? I think it's the button that's being too big, but we'll just test it real quick. Let's get this pop-up. That's better. We might need to dial that down a little bit. Vertical content alignment bottom. Try that. I think that'll push the text down. I don't like the text floating above that underline. There, that's better. Let's see, margin 10 to 0, height 30. That'll probably dial it down, probably too much, but we'll see where that goes. Yeah, it's a little short. So it looks like a lot of empty space, but some of it I'm noticing is being this guy here. We're gonna just take away the height separator. I think that's the color picker's got some extra space around it that we might try to clean up later, but for now let's just get it working. Okay, so the color picker is going to, it needs to be able to read the current color if possible as its default value. And after that, what is our context in here? So we're going to have a context of theme color. Kind of thinking what we do is we go and just create a new view model for this, because there's enough logic that I want to put in here. I don't want to try to wrap it in something else. Public class, color picker view model, observable object. Boom. Okay. Let's see. Private color. That one. Color. Public color. Color. Get color. Set property ref. Color. Value. Okay, so that'll go something like that. And now the question is, how are we going to get that into here? I'm wondering if I can do something like thinking I might just do pop-up content. It's a lot of objects to be instantiating. So we're going to do it lazily. I'd really like to not create all of these up front, so we're not going to. Because if I create one of these view models for every single one of these eyedroppers, that's a lot of things to create. So we're going to dial this back a little bit. Let's see, pop-up box. And then we need to base our style on the one in the library, which will be implicit. Type. Material. Design. Pop-up box. Boom. Okay, so that gets me to there. And then style, triggers. Trigger property is just pop up open, value of true, boom, setter property, pop up content, value, binding. I think we'll just let this, because it's a theme color that's here, and we'll just go with, just write a quick converter for it. Public class, picker, view model, converter, high value converter. We should start putting some of these things in their own files. Implement interface. We only need one direction. If value is theme color, otherwise return null. In this case, return new picker, color picker view model, theme color. Boom, we'll just pass it in so that it has a reference back to it, generate constructor, and now we can put all our logic right in the view model and everybody's happy. Okay, so when we open, this guy will get created. This should do something like theme color, let's see, color, type, converter. What is the type descriptor? Get converter or type of color. Bar converter. Good, static. It's just type converter, right? Type converter. So this is the same thing that the XAML uses to parse the strings into types. So we will just going to use that. I'm doing it as static, so I don't have to do it every time because that's a lot. We only need it once. Okay, so type converter, convert from string, theme color, dot value, color. Go with as color, because null is a valid option. And let's just get that wired up and working. We're gonna grab you. Oh, we're still debugging. Part of my IntelliSense problem. Come up here. Actually, we're gonna do this at the root. We're not gonna have that much stuff. X E. Create it there. Boom. Where did my style go? Okay, so that should get me to there. Color picker. It's an incompatible type. I have no idea what that means. think that just means was not created yet. Okay, so that will get me to there, and then let's pull up here a little bit. Window resources, because we're getting really deeply nested. So let's just pull out of this for just a minute. Let's go up here, because like we can keep nesting this thing, but this is getting a little out of hand. Data template, data type, local picker view model. I don't know what we'll call it. Let's see here. Come on. Visual Studio, what's going on? You're thinking a little too hard. Edge is thinking a little too hard too. Oh, is Docker trying to do something? What? Yes. Add Docker. Quit. You don't need to be doing anything right now. Okay, so let's see, local color picker view model. Boom. Okay, so that should give me type completions in here. Boom, 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 boom. We can unindent now a whole lot. Okay, so that gets us out of there. That gets us out of there. This gets us out of here. Should probably clean this up a little bit. I'm gonna drop the string formatting out of here because this should now won't work, but it'll be something. And more importantly, this should actually end up going. Sorry, what are you doing? XAML Designer is busy. XAML Designer, you want to know how you get closed? Doing that. Binding. Color. So that's going to go there. And actually, technically, we should drop and go to the same underlying property on the view model here as well. Rather than relative bindings. Okay. Color me up, Kraken. Color me up. Okay. So it creates it on the fly. Huzzah. It's able to parse the color. Even better. And it loaded something that looks akin to red. If I come down to something that's green, load something akin to green. FF00 FF. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'll take it. The other thing I believe is that works too. Same with just typing in blue. This is why we use type converters. Woo! So that's fun. Now all we need to do is make it so that when I click it, it does something in here, which is kind of what we're going for. And the last thing I'd love is to have it. I'd love to set like the background on these things to show off a little bit, because we can do some fancy backgrounds and then toggle the coloring accordingly and all that jazz. It'll be sweet. It'll be sweet. Don't know if I'll be able to get something like that figured out on parsing, but whatever. Okay, so that'll get me into there. That'll get me into there. We just need the buttony thing, and I think what we can do. Trying to think what the easiest way is to close that, because I'd love for it to close and how can I make it do both? Because I want to trigger a command in here, because this guy can then update the theme color appropriately. And I'm thinking this button may be better worded as like apply. That's probably better. So if we do this and go public relay command, apply command, right? We'll do that. Come down here and go with apply command gets new relay command on apply. Generate method. If color is color, pattern match there, then what we will do is we will do let's go with theme color. Oh, this guy is a notify property changed. Well, this used to crash Visual Studio, but clearly it's fixed now. Which was really exciting when that was a bug. When records first got introduced, there was a bug that was in for just one version where if you added an interface to a record, like I notify property changed, no bueno. Visual Studio would go, yeah, I'm not doing that. Oh, I can't do lambda because I need if, let's see, value not equal to incoming value, then set value, and then raise property changed, invoke this new property changed event args, name of value. Oh. Okay, so that's what we need there. Oh, and you should be, that's going to cause a bug up here. Value gets value, and actually we can just drop that check now altogether. Let that flow through. Everyone can be happy. So this means then that theme color dot value gets type converter convert to invariant string from color. Boom. Oh, but there is a T. Why is this now unhappy? Oh, if theme color dot value is string because it does not want to handle null, and I don't want to deal with trying to fight with that, so I'm just going to whack it off. Boom, problem solved. Okay, so that'll handle that, that'll handle that. I need to come in here. This button needs to change to be come in here, make it blue, so 26 apply, that gets assigned. Cool, that is really cool. I'm a little curious to test on GitKraken if I assign a 6-digit or an 8-digit one, does it handle it? Let's just test that real quick. So the green is the easy one, right? So if I go FF, do you handle alpha channel? No, you get very confused if I send you an alpha channel. So I need to not do that. Okay, so that is not quite the right command. Kind of thinking I might just want to do, if it's going to be picky, I might just want to do it myself. Go with string interpolation. That might be easier. Let's see, color R, and I think this is where I need the X2. Let's see, color G, base 2, B. Okay, let's try that. So if I come over here and go here, so we'll change this down to, that's better. This isn't quite what I want, because I really would prefer I think I can get away with that though. Can I? It might be easiest to just do a converter on it. Color. Yeah, this is kind of. Yeah, I'm thinking a converter's probably easiest. Let's just write a converter real quick. That's probably the path of least resistance. What class color? And let's put you in your own little thingy. Let's see, color string converter. If value is color. Otherwise, just pass value right along. And I think I might actually go as far as to where'd that view model go with the type converter? Yeah, this guy. That's not correct. Null is definitely allowed in all of these cases. You aren't guaranteed to be non-null. You aren't guaranteed to be non-null. You aren't guaranteed. None of you are guaranteed to be non-null. WPF existed long before nullable reference type was a thing. If... Oh, this one is not the... That's not the color one that I was doing. And you all have the same problem. Okay, let's see, let's just slap you in here too. It's a little bit of duplication, but don't mind it too much. Return type converter, convert from string, otherwise, so we'll send value through, we'll let it. we'll let it figure itself out. In this case, we'll just grab this guy here. There. Small amount of duplication between those two, but you can see about separating that up later. Boom. There we go. Build errors, of course. What did I do wrong? Oh, I started doing that and then you never actually finish adding the converter. So let's go with local color string converter. Let's see, static restores. No. Okay. And then I'm missing closing curly brace there. Try that. I think that'll be a little bit cleaner and still give me the same behavior. Come here, you. Come on over. So I type in, so that looks correct, and I should be able to do blue and jump to there. Let's see, WPF greater than Blazor, good, else bad. I assume that's going for a ternary, not a question. It depends. If you are familiar with WPF, Blazor can be good. So I have a lot of colleagues that have, I will say, negative opinions of Blazor. And they aren't completely unjustified. There are some issues around performance and just basic structure of how things are laid out. However, for getting stuff done, if that's your skill set, it can be an effective tool. Yeah. I've done very little bits with Blazor, and I gravitate towards it because I like my XAML, and I was like, ooh, I can do WPF in the web, but it's not the bed of roses that people might have you believe. Okay, so that gets me there. But everyone tells me it's dying. So, okay, so for everyone who says WPF is dying, I will make a few brief comments. One, WPF was expected to kill off WinForms because WinForms was desktop platform ye old. WinForms is still alive, is still receiving updates, and it has more apps written in it than WPF. UWP was expected to kill off WPF when Windows 8 dropped, and instead UWP is dying off, or maybe not dying off, being replaced with WinUI. WinUI is expected to be the spiritual successor to WPF. However, it's more, WinUI is still kind of the UWP framework v next. So that's great, but I don't know. So WPF is definitely not dying off. They are still investing resources in it. They can't kill WPF as long as Visual Studio is using it. Large portions of Visual Studio are in WPF. So as long as the flagship IDE is written in WPF, Microsoft's going to continue to support it because they kind of need it as long as they have, critical stuff built in it. So, yeah, they refuse to kill a single dev experience. They kill some dev experiences. UWP is dying. Some of the old mobile stuff is dying. I will say dying. So I won't say WPF is dying. What is happening, though, and worth considering, is web is increasing and taking a lot of things that used to be desktop. So everybody does web, and as the web gains more and more functionality, there will be a lesser demand for desktop apps. However, they will never be able to completely go away. Like VS Code in the browser and code spaces and all of that is great. I don't see that rivaling what you can do in Visual Studio anytime soon. Like, web is getting much better and starting to take a lot of those workflows that used to be desktop only. And so I think in that regard, web would be potentially killing WPF, but it's not killing WPF. It's more or less killing all desktop frameworks and trying to steal workflows there, because hey, if I can write it in a browser, I don't have to worry about your operating system. Whether you work on Windows or Mac, it just works. It's kind of the cross-platform UI solution, yada 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 yada. So I don't think, I will say Electron is worse than just the dev stuff. And I would point to Electron as a perfect example of the web is trying to take away a lot of those desktop experiences with very mixed results. Some things will never... web has yet to get feature parity with what the desktop frameworks can do. And until web can do that, I don't think desktop frameworks are in that much danger. So like Electron and all of the other webby ones were designed with, or like React Native, they're all designed with this idea of, look, we can do all of this great desktop-y stuff and we don't have to get away with everything. And they do a decent job. Like large portions of Office are written with React Native. Like it clearly, if Microsoft is willing to put one of their flagship products in it, it can't be that bad. And it ain't gonna die as long as they have flagship products using it. So I don't think WPF is in that much danger anytime soon. Yeah, React Native I would say is better than Electron. That I would tend to buy into that. But with that said, VS Code is an Electron app. So yeah. Different teams at Microsoft use different things. So if I was going to be picking a framework or something, I would definitely be picking a framework that somebody like Microsoft was building major products in, knowing full well that they aren't going to want that framework to die as long as they're using it. So I would bank on that, because frameworks come, frameworks go, but as long as somebody big like Microsoft has large things built into it, its end of life will be very predictable in the future. Until you start seeing like the big names jump away from it, it's probably a safe bet. Okay, something, apply command. Okay, so I'm thinking, it's probably a bad idea, but I'm thinking anyway. I'm kind of wondering if I don't want a save button and I just want to edit this stuff on the fly. Kind of wondering if I just want to edit the stuff on the fly and have it go. I kind of think I want to just do that. Is that crazy? Is that crazy to just, when one of these things updates, just do it? Like when one of these values changes, just go. Let's see, what is it? Messenger. It's the weak reference messenger. Where do I get? No, it's like weak reference messenger. What is the name of that bloody thing? There, that thingy. Oh, is there not like a... Kind of wondering if we just go cheater mode. Kind of wondering if we just go cheater mode. We're gonna go cheater mode. Oh, put that back. Public, static, messenger, gets new. Let's see, I've worked on some deep zoom images on Silverlight some years ago. Yes, Silverlight, it was definitely years ago. I wanted to look into that recently and everything is just gone. The Everlight references is so weird. Yes. So Silverlight, they officially did kill off 3 years ago, something like that. And it was largely around browser support causing it to die. So it was no longer viable. Once different browsers didn't support Silverlight, Silverlight was dead. And that could be another thing that scares me off of web technologies a little bit, is web technologies come and go a lot. I'm not a fan of that. I'm really not a fan of that. That was WPF as well, though. Well, so XAML, yes. So Silverlight definitely was XAML, and I did a little Silverlight many years ago. And again, that was the beauty of Blazor, or my appeal to Blazor, is it was like, oh, I can use my XAML knowledge and I can build webby stuff. That's cool. I like that. And Silverlight did it okay. Blazor takes a slightly different approach to being able to do it, and it lets you reuse a lot of your XAML stuff, which is cool. They've kind of gone, as I understand it, Blazor, they've also added in a lot of like Razory type support, which is cool as well. Trying to blend those worlds. It's like they're trying to bring the ASP.NET Core developers and the desktop developers into this happy middle ground. It's like, okay, I get it. And that is the thing with web technologies, because things update quickly. If you don't, like, Microsoft kind of threw in the towel a little bit on trying to keep up, which is why Edge now runs Chromium under the hood. It's like, we could keep trying to maintain our own web engine, or we could just adopt the one that everybody's using anyway. And that's when Edge stops sucking. Some people would argue it still does. So I like Edge. Okay, what did I do? I'm still debugging. That's what's going on. Okay, so we're gonna just do a messenger here. Recipient. I'm gonna need a message. Public record class brush updated. I don't even know if I need to do anything beyond that. I think that I don't know if we need to even send anything in the payload. We're just gonna do that. And can you go to explicit implementation? Okay, so if the brush is updated, let's just save the file. That doesn't. It sounds scary. I don't think it's that scary. I'm kind of wondering, because we're basically going to end up using a lot of this code here. JSON object. You don't have any sort of... I could just pull out this JSON object, apply the thing, and then go to town. I'm guessing, what do I need to appropriately update this? I honestly don't need any... I don't need to read the file. I can build the file myself. If I can build the file myself, is there any benefit to reading this in? I don't think there is. Yeah, I don't think there's any benefit to doing so. I think we just write the file out. So we're just gonna go. Okay. So if selected theme is null, selected theme, term. We'll bail early. Can't do quite that. just do it simply. Let's not be clever. Selected theme gets selected theme. Selected theme is null, bail early. Okay, so we're going to intentionally pull this in here just for threading purposes. Okay, so then selected theme file path, and we are going to open for writing this time around. And then I think I can just build up a JSON object from this. Var just go JSON object. Because I assume you're hip to normal dictionary stuff, which is cool. Oh, that's actually GitKraken. I want to go into here. Oh, I am going to need to read it for the purposes of getting this much here, because I only want to replace the theme value. I am going to need to read it. So we're going to need to do open. We'll go open mode. And then I want file access read write. So obtain both. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do this maneuver here and get that guy back out. And I need the options to read. I am going to need to bring it in. Okay. And actually, let's put this in its own method. Private async ask write theme. Theme. So subtly what I'm doing here by making this an input parameter is it's going to save me on, rather than accessing a property because there's multiple threads that are touching it, I don't want one to like null it out and change it because somebody hits the combo box or something funky. So we'll go away, write theme, select the theme. So that'll fix that problem. Okay, so this becomes theme, boom. So now I've got a local variable, and locals are by definition thread saved. Okay, so that'll get me that much there. And then I want to build up a JSON object for theme values. Yeah. Probably should move that. Theme values gets new. Do you have a constructor that takes a name? Or I guess what's ultimately going to happen is it's going to be JSON object theme values gets theme values. Yeah, that makes a little more sense. Okay, so for each var category in categories. All right, so we'll iterate over all of them. What's your problem? You reference a possibly null value here. So let's numerable empty. So it's null. We'll end up not iterating. So our category gets. We shouldn't use var. It's an object. Category gets new, and then theme values. Category dot name. What do I call that thing? Oh, I got a duplicate reference. Category name gets JSON category. Okay, and then on each of these, we want to go through and add in all of the values that were there. So for each var theme color, in category colors. Let's see. JSON category be color.name gets color.value. Boom. I assume you are hip to all of that. So if JSON object is null, return. Boom. Do all that, do all that, do all that, and then we'll have built up this thing, and then the last bit will be save it. Serialize async, and that's going to take in what? Stream file stream. We need to seek to the beginning of the file before we go and just start writing, since we just read from it. Serialize file stream. The value will be JSON object. Let's see. Something like that, I think, is what I want. Actually, I guess I don't even need to name the parameter on that. Okay. Let's try it. So with any luck, because clearly my Kevin theme is its green color is no longer green. Let's go to Kevin Dark. And this is a bit of a problem. So we're going to change this here, and we're going to go somewhere in that vicinity. Apply. Did it do? Oh, we did all of this recipient stuff and nothing notifies it. So, main window view model, messenger, send, new, something updated, brush updated. Okay, so this guy will just kick off a message. That'll be picked up by the main window. The main window will take it. Normally you could attach data into this message and just declare whatever you need, but we don't need a payload. Okay, so let's change this guy up. I want to have GitKraken open because frankly I want to see this thing. I want to see that purple change to green and make me really happy. So I do that, I go apply. Something didn't happen. Let's see, did it update the file? Did not update the file. So let's start with here. When I go here, okay, that did that, that did that, no, oh, I didn't register. Okay, boy, I am just batting 1,000, aren't I? Okay, so messenger register. This guy would like to know what he's registering for. Okay. Created half the infrastructure and then was surprised when it didn't work. Oh, this is interesting. This is triggering way sooner than I would have expected. Oh. Because this is loading them all up. Got it. So that is... Let's see. I'm guessing what we probably want to do is unregister for our, not be registered for this. I'm trying to think of what the easiest way is of handling this. It's almost like a while loading, don't do this. Unregister this. It wants register all. And then down here, boom. There, that should keep us from, hoping I didn't just foobar one of my default files. That would be really disappointing. And while I'm on that note, really quick, just hypothetically, we're just gonna go copy paste. We're gonna make a backup before we get too carried away. Okay, so this guy here, make it that. Okay, so that worked. You know what? Send it. My stuff is green again. Okay. Happiness. Happiness is purple. Invalid data. New details. What is it squawking about? Quote is invalid after a single JSON value. So something is unhappy. Well, let's relaunch, and I want to look at, did I write bad file? Oh, this is not good. This is not good. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to close this. It's almost like making that backup a second ago was a really, really good idea. Okay, we're going to put that in. Okay, so that now we're back into a happy state. Okay, I think what I want to do too, though, is change this to not be, there's a thingy on here for right indented. Yeah, right indented. I want pretty. I want pretty JSON, not non-pretty JSON. Okay. Come over here. Okay, so we're gonna go. There's that. That's cool. That's cool. We like that. So then if I change from purple to say yellow, it's now in a bad state. So the question is, why is it in a bad state? What is happening after that first write? So this guy here, uses just for the tab bar. Oh, it's not clearing the content, so it's leaving the last of it still sitting there. Oh. That's very, very interesting. What's the cleanest way to go through and do this? It's like I want to shorten the stream. file stream. Boy, because I could write empty bytes, but it feels like there should be a cleaner way of doing this. Let's look real quick. The Googles know all. And by Google, I mean Bing. So, C# file stream, remove bytes at end. Yeah, I'd like to be able to do... let's see, so this is just reading. I don't want to do a buffer in the middle. Hey, Odat Nerd, thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Welcome everyone. For everyone just joining, we're building a small WPF application for editing the theme in GitKraken. So if people aren't familiar with it, boom, there's my affiliate link. So it's a Git client and my definite Git one of choice. Hey, Odat Nerd. And so the latest release, they added a cool customization of the theme, and so I figured, hey, let's spin a quick WPF app to edit it. And right now we are close to having it working. It works the first time, and then it falls over. I'm actually mildly surprised that GitKraken doesn't not having side-by-side diffs at the same time. Oh. Then you might be interested in this. So, for example, is this what you're looking for? Side-by-side diffs? Because there are, and I'm trying to remember how old this is. It's been in for a few versions, but I don't think it was there in early releases. But there is, you can get it either in the hunk view, inline view, which I think is the default, and then the split view for the side-by-side. Yeah, I will say they have been getting a lot better. They're still my go-to of choice, and I think there's been a few other Git GUIs that have come out that have been pretty good, and I think GitKraken has kind of pushed everybody to try and make better ones. Here's what a GUI should be. The other cool thing I will point out for people who may not be familiar with it, they have this new terminal tab, which is for people who like Git on the command line. This is a halfway thing, but it does have, let's see. So if I go, let's see, color, what do I call this thing? What? Oh, I'm on the wrong drive. Let's see. Yeah, just there. You'll note when you get into a Git repo, it does give you a terminal that will show you your current repo, and you can interact with this tree as the same one. But the other thing that it does is it tries to go through and be helpful as far as providing reasonable IntelliSense. It's not quite like the tab completions that you get in other terminals, because they rolled their own terminal inside of it. So especially if people are familiar with command line Git, this is kind of a good introduction. Or oftentimes when I'm teaching people Git, this is my favorite because I can teach command line commands, but then you can watch the Git tree down below, like update as you're doing rebases and cherry picks, and see how it's actually affecting everything. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So definitely love it. So, okay, but we need to get my green color to not suck. So I think what we're going to do, I think we are going to do, I'm just going to open twice, and I think that will probably, it'll save on a lot of the pain and suffering then. I'm clearly inflicting upon myself by doing this. We're going to do this, and we're going to switch back out. So JSON object. We're going to switch out of the scoped ones. And what is your problem? Nullability. What VPS service do you recommend for a big project? That's a good question. Hey, I don't mind the raid and run. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it. You have hopefully a good appointment tomorrow morning. Get some rest. Kings, can you give any more details on the project? I don't know if there's just a blind recommendation that I can say. Let's see. So it consists of a chat and video chat application. Okay. So, I think I will predicate this. Take this with a grain of salt. To be clear, I'm a Microsoft MVP. I work for a Microsoft consulting company. I have strong biases towards Microsoft, so I will throw that out there up front. A lot of it, I tend to go with Azure first, and depending on what exactly you need to do with the video chat and that kind of thing, a lot of the Azure services kind of have tiers based upon how much control you want versus how much you just want somebody else to manage it. And I want to focus on my app. I don't want to think about all of the details that go about doing with it. And there is what is it called? Is it media services where they embed it? The entire back end that powers like Skype and Teams, you can just tie straight into that. This isn't quite that. No. But you can also communication services. I think that's where it's buried under. Yeah, this is it. So, depending on I guess load and cost, and there's a lot of things to factor in. Like I said, it's kind of hard to just blind give a recommendation, but I do tend to favor Microsoft for a lot of this. And it does power the same back end that powers Skype and Teams, so it's not like you're building on something where it's going to be theoretically underpowered. Obviously there is a cost to it, and that's definitely something to evaluate. The hardest part with a lot of the cloud services is estimating out exactly what that cost is going to be. So depending on what that is and what location. So please note, this is showing central US region. Prices change based on different regions. So if you're in the US, I think most of the US regions will probably be just about the same, if not identical, for what you're doing. But I would tell you to probably take a look there. It is, like I said, that's definitely my bias of where I lean first. So, but it is a fairly simple, if you want to do the whole get going quickly, and it sucks. So I recently deleted it and got a refund, so I'm finding better services. The other thing that I will point out, so Azure has the drug dealer pricing mentality of the first hit is free. So the thing that's worth noting is you can get going with a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't remember if communication services is in here or not. I've got vision, so I would assume communication services is a little bit newer, so it may or may not be in here. But when you first sign up for an Azure account, there's a whole bunch of stuff that they will give you for free, and for 12 months they'll even give you $200 of credit a month to just spend on stuff, which $200 of credit goes a long way, especially for small stuff while you're building it. Like, keep an eye on your spend though, because when you hit that 200 limit, if you don't have a credit card tied to the account, it just stops. And you can hear plenty of horror stories where people, somebody gets a hold of their subscription because they leaked a key or whatever, then racked up a huge bill crypto mining or whatever. So my suggestion would either be like, don't tie a credit card to it until you actually need it. They do make you put one in just to validate like age and whatnot, but unless you set it up for billing, it's not going to hit automatically. There is also budget alerts you can set to, which is highly, highly recommended. Very highly recommended. Cannot emphasize that enough. Budget alerts for every subscription that you have tied to a credit card. But it's worth taking a look, because like I said, there's a lot of different tiers on all of these services. From you want bare bones, they hand you a VM and you install and do everything, all the way up to SaaS type offerings where it's like you just plug in an API key and it does stuff. So, and if you're already familiar with like C#, a lot of their stuff will work on most of the popular languages. Some stuff, C# is definitely their flagship language, so just about everything runs in C#. Some of like the machine learning stuff is more likely to run with like Python or R or similar, but for the most part, C# is the, I won't say primary, but it's definitely one of the first ones they support. Okay, something read a file, something write a file. So we're gonna do something like this down below. Oh, not a problem. I very much love questions and whatnot, so believe me, I have no problem getting sidetracked. It happens a lot. Let's see, so we're gonna go with open. Oh, and thanks for the follow as well, I appreciate it. Let's see, we're gonna go open because inside of the open, in the file modes, there is a blow the thing away option. Open or create, let's see. Specify it should open the file as exist. Open the file if it exists, otherwise a new file should be created. Is it create? Should create a new file. If file exists, it will be overwritten. That's the man. That's what we're going for right there. We're going to rename this to write stream. And then this guy here goes write stream and bippity boppity booyah. So we'll do that. Let's go back and check. Or did I close VS Code? Close VS Code. That was dumb of me. Hey, VS Code, come back. I just want to know. Yeah, so okay, you wanted to update. So that lovely backup file that we made, let's go and get that, because apparently backups are important. At least for the moment. Okay, so that's in. Fire it up, and now we should be able to start changing colors and watch GitKraken change automatically. That's the goal. Purple will be not purple in a moment. Okay, so this is the green one we've been picking on. Let's change it. Oh, hang on. Wrong theme. We should edit my theme. Okay, so green one will become blue. Apply. Cannot access because it is being used by another process. So the question is, which point through this and which process? Let's see. Because this guy should have been cleaned up. Oh, he's not. There. It was me. I switched to using syntax and didn't delete the semicolon. Okay. So we file locked ourselves. Okay. Because we need to make sure that it's closed and no one else is holding that file handle open. Okay, so let's try this again. So I'm pretty sure we're in a good state because we weren't able to write the file. Okay, GitKraken, be open. Okay, and let's go green. And we're gonna make you blue. It's blue, lighter blue. It works! It works! That's what I'm talking about. And yellow. Oh, I get way too much joy out of that. Way too much joy out of that. Ooh, is Kevin over here hawking Azure services? Yes, Justin. To be fair, I very much prefaced it with, I'm heavily biased. I also have a working theme editor. Let's go cyan. Oracle Cloud Service. For all of the new people here, Justin is joking. I hope. Either that or it's late enough that he's lost his sanity. It could go either way. Oh, look at that, it's now. Oh. I actually do not use Oracle ever. Yeah. I had poor experiences with them too. I actually kind of I was thinking that the apply button should close the pop-up, but I actually like being able to tweak it and drag it around a little. It's actually not bad being able to do. That's kind of nice. I kind of like that. Now, admittedly, I've taken the green theme color and made it orange. But I didn't name the brushes. Why not do apply, cancel, okay, like settings? Well, because apply in this case is legitimately writing the file. And GitKraken is cool, and when I'm guessing they must have a file watcher set up on it, because as soon as the file edits, they ingest it and update their theming stuff. So I kind of like being able to have these things side by side and tweak. The one thing I'm wondering about is if it makes sense to try and show a preview. Oh, so you can revert it. Ah, yeah. See, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. We should cache the previous value. I'm just wondering where and how. Because I can technically, so for example, I can come in here. Well, we've been picking on green, right? And I can go, that right? And I can make it red. So as soon as I commit the value in the text box, it's updating, which is cool that now all the things just work. But I agree that there does need to be, I'm almost wondering if what I should do is create a backup of the file, and undo lets you revert back everything. Like the backup is good, is good overall, just to make sure I don't accidentally foobar up all of the files. But I am wondering if it would be even better. Because I'm trying to like undo or revert or something makes a lot of sense here. Oh, Control Z changes. That's not a bad idea. Just keep an edit stack. That's not actually that bad of an idea. I could very easily do that. Let's do it. I think I like the undo stack option. Let's implement it real quick. Hold on. Before I get carried away. Color Kraken. We are going to working app. Boom. Yeah, having all your green colors be bright red is both epically awesome and really confusing in a Git repo. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Here, if anybody is interested, repos there. This is so weird. I hate this. Just wait. I will purple all the things. Okay. Let's go through and let's make an undo buffer, because that's actually not that hard to implement. Let's go with private list. I'm kind of thinking that I just do a list of delegates. You flame me for telling people to use Oracle Cloud. Yeah, that's true. I apologize. But you add file into a red color. Yes, I know, it's great, isn't it? Okay, so when the theme changes, we should clear our undo stack, because we don't, at that point, those things are dead and gone. But every time we make a change, it would be good to undo the change. So brush updated. So I think what we want to do is this guy here, since we just finished talking about it, needs to carry along a payload, because just brush updated is not enough data to work with. We need to know old value, new value, right? So let's do theme color, and then how about string previous value? I technically don't need more than that. I only need, because this thing will technically have the new value on it. Yagni. We'll go with it for now. Okay, so that now we just need to make sure. Okay, so hold on. I gotta move some stuff out. This stuff needs to be not here anymore. We're getting too much in one file. Let's see. Why not have them be the existing and new value? Well, that's kind of what I get by passing the instance of theme color through, because theme color will have the existing value on it. So it's basically going to be this, and I need to cache the old one. String previous value gets value, and now I've got the old value. Boom. Oh, this needs to be a nullable string. Boom. Oh, and that means previous needs to be this, which is good. What are you squawking about now? Send message token. What? Did I miss a memo somewhere? What did I mess up on here? I don't want to send it with a token. I just want you to send it based on type. I am missing a. Oh, I'm missing a using for the extension method. I want that. There. Now be happy. Okay. Okay, so Undo stack cleared. When this thing changes, oh, we never actually implemented a new theme button. We should probably implement that button too. Because I do want to have a based on concept into this. Okay, so if not string is null or white space, let's go with message dot previous value. So if the previous thing has a value, undo stack, we will add an item to the end of it, and that item will just be a cache of let's see. I think what I want to do is only cache. Let's cache as little as possible. So, what I mean by cache is, in this case, delegates do what is called closure. So any variable that's referenced inside of this lambda will be captured inside of it so that it can get back to it, which is great. Just means that you have to be careful what you're capturing over. And if I do message dot, I will end up capturing over that value with message, and I don't want that. I only want to be capturing the string and the theme color. Is that no? Yeah, no. Most things do it. It's just it can be very confusing to people. Simply because it can cause memory leaks if you aren't familiar with what you're capturing over. And so sometimes people look at this and go, well, why did you pull these out? Why didn't you just do, message.color.value here? It's like, well, because I don't want to accidentally make that happen. Okay. So that'll build a stack. And then what we need is some command, public, actually, I don't think we need a relay command. So let's go back to the XAML. So I think what we're going to do here is, at the top level, I think we're just going to implement undo at the very toppy-most level. We don't need it. We don't need undo to be scoped differently. Nah, we'll do it at the top. Well, I wouldn't want it to be picked up if you're inside of that header. We'll implement it just at the scroll view for the big section on down. We'll do it here. That's probably a more expected location. Okay, so input bindings. Let's see. Key binding. Oh, do we want to do a key binding? Trying to decide how to go about doing this, because now I've got choices. Do I want... Because what I really want to do is handle the event going up. Is it input bindings or is it command bindings? I believe it's command bindings that I want. Control Z, Control Y. Yes, well, I agree on that. That much is a given. I think. I hope. I think everybody agrees on that. X static, but things that are common like that, there are built-in fanciness for it, and so we want to pick up. There's redo. There's undo. So I would like to wire up the undo command, and let's see, what is it? Executed, or yeah, executed. So add new event handler. And then we will do the same thing again, but rather than the undo, we will do. You make an interesting point though. Redo. Let's not do redo just yet, because redo would require moving back in the list and maintaining that index, and then clearing it when something new gets added. It's not horrible, but let's start with one first before we get too carried away. One first. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna rename this undo executed. Okay, and then we're having undo stack and then move to a redo stack. Yeah, I think I would probably not just have a simple list when we get that level. And but we'll circle back. I think I will go back to that. I think I want to do the new button first before I get too carried away. Main window view model. Boy, that autocomplete is on point. It is on point. So for people who aren't familiar with it, it's very similar to like GitHub's Copilot, where it guesses based upon what code it has seen, been trained on, and looking at your code. And it is doing awesome tonight. And I am very proud of it, because sometimes it makes suggestions that are just flat out won't even compile. So there's that. And tonight, it's actually guessing right on the mark. So let's do this. So if undo stack count greater than 0 will actually do something. Var item gets undo stack there, and then undo stack remove at. Oh, this one's still a little yucky. It works. And then we need to actually perform the undo, which will be invoke the delegate that we cached. See if it works. Okay, so we're gonna come over here. Note to self. Next thing I want to add, remembering what profile I was editing. Okay, so that green color needs to stop being red. I have deemed it needs to be purple. This purple is like the best color ever. So apply. And then if I go Control Z, it goes back to red. And I can go apply, and it goes to purple. And I can go Control Z, and it goes back to red. And I can go, you know what? I really like blue. Apply. No, the red is best. We could do like green, and then like a really light cyan, and then we could do like a yellow, and we can go, you know what? All of those colors really don't work well. Undo, 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 undo. Oh, are we caught in a loop? Oh. What's happening here? So undo. So undo stack. Seems to be working. Why did I just get a whole bunch of stuff on my stack without realizing it? Oh! When I'm undoing the value, it's seeing that change and adding it back to my stack. That's not a great undo experience. Woo! That's not a great undo experience. Yeah, so small bug. I'm thinking I might just, okay, I don't normally like doing this, but we're gonna do it. Ignore changes. So there is a cool trick you can do, because I'd rather not do this register unregister garbage too. It's kind of yucky. So we're gonna get rid of that. Put the register back. Be registered all the time. Let's move the undo method down. Get it away from all the other stuffs. sure. You can live here. So we're not going to do that. But what we are going to do is, if there's a wonderful method wonderful class in C# called interlock, and it is probably one of the most. It is hard to read, so we'll do this here real quick, right? So ref ignore changes. The value replaces the definition. True. And then it returns the original values. So I believe that's what I want. So this is a way of implementing debounds. But it does it in a thread-safe manner. So all of the methods on the interlock class are atomic, meaning that they will happen without any other instructions being able to interfere with them. Oftentimes when people say atomic, they're referring to like low-level CPU instructions of there can't be something else that interjects in the middle. Hey, thanks for the follow. 5-ply paper. So, yeah. So some people would just do a Boolean. I think we're going to go with this. It's a little more abusive. It's a lot more abusive. But it is also thread safe, and so I don't have to think about it. And I do usually have to check the doc on this real quick, because I believe the return is the previous value that was in there, if I'm not mistaken. Let's just look real quick. So it returns the original value that was in the field. So what this will do is it will come in here and compare the value in the field to, let's see if we go through here. I think I can pop the docs. So the second parameter is the value that replaces it if the comparison is true. This is the value it's going to be compared with. So it'll check it. If it's equal to 0, it will set it to 1. So it'll do a read, a comparison, and an assignment in a single atomic operation, which is pretty cool. And then it returns the original value that was there. So if the original value that was there was 0, it means we're the only one here, and we can go in. This thing will be a 1. Down at the very bottom, we do interlocked exchange, and we just assign it back to 0. You can also use this thing to, let's see, and you almost always want to make sure that if you do something like this, the setback should really be in a finally block, or something that ensures that unhandled exceptions don't leave you in a weird state. Assuming you can handle them higher up, like this one would suppress it, which is why the exchange is out here and not inside. Yeah, the other way you can use this is you can use this for a counter to let things go in and out. So you can actually do some pretty performant multi-threading stuff using the interlock class. It's quite powerful. Let's try this again. So that should now fix it so that while we are doing this, we don't get blocked. What? Why are we in? Oh, haha. That is. We need one more comparison in here, because if that we did this guy here where we start doing this, and we need one more check down here. So basically, this guy we don't really need to do. I guess we don't need to do a compare exchange, do we? We really just need to read it. And we can do a volatile read. So we'll just go. So if it's 0, or how about if it's not 0? Fail. Okay. And because I don't know what I just wrote, we're just gonna put all these files right on them. Yeah, just replace those. I don't know what's in there. Okay, let's go try our undo stack. This is probably a little cleaner now. Okay, so there we're going to open GitKraken again. We're back to purple because I reset my files. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, nope, that is not the theme I want to be on. I want to be on something that looks like purple. Okay, so that gets me to green, right? So then we're going to go blue, red, yellow, right? And then we're going to go undo. Undo. See the value going back? But the right is not happening, which means this is getting hit. And somebody toggled my flag and didn't set it back. It's really hard to get to that state since these things are just straight up. Let's confirm my theory real quick. I hate it when people toggle my flag. So, and don't set it back. Wait a minute. So that went there. I go Control Z. Never popped. Wait, what? Oh, because I am in here. Oh, let's catch it here. Red. Actually, let's go in here and go fly. So that goes through there. That's fine. And if I go and undo it, this is changing it to 1. So what's happening is we're hitting the undo stack. It's appropriately popping this. And it's triggering the set. But we're relying on that set to actually do the to actually come through here. I think this is the problem. But so the issue is that I've got 2 different cases now. And one I want this check and the other one I don't. I think what I want to do is pull this thing apart. Actually, no. I think I just want to do this. Or actually, you know what? I was talking about not wanting to cache over this, but I'm thinking what I actually want to do is just in here. This guy really should just do right that, which means I need to change this to be a async thingy-mabobber, not a action. Yeah, because then I don't have to have separate logic for each of these. Yeah, I think that's async there. That's now happier. And then when I execute the undo, my undo method, passed it somewhere. This now needs to become async task, and this should be properly awaited. This is another good reason why I like interlocked, is because you can't do a lock over an async call. or you can't put an await inside of a lock statement. You have to end up using something with like a semaphore slim or similar. So this guy here, we're going to go up to the top. And in general, async void is bad. However, the use case for it is top level event handlers. This is a top level event handler. Okay, one more time. Okay, so let's go here, and we're gonna, oh, see, I keep doing that. Really need to implement settings where it just remembers my last theme. Okay, there we go. So we're gonna go green, apply, blue, apply, then we're gonna go undo, and disable breakpoint. Show me GitKraken. So it's back to green. Should be able to undo again, back to yellow. Okay, that works much better. So one more time: blue, green, red, purple. And of course, that is running into a problem. Why are you not? Oh man, I've really foobarred this, haven't I? Let's go here. So apply. So run to cursor. We're going to put a breakpoint here and make sure we don't get a follow-up invocation on this. Interesting. That worked just fine. Red, apply. Am I just stupid? Was I editing the wrong file? I'm wondering if I was on the wrong theme color and I've changed multiple things now. Red works. Cayenne. Blue. And then I go, nope. Go back. Go back. That seems to be working nicely. Okay. So real quick, we will use GitKraken to check in our stuff because why not? Implemented undo buffer. Boom. Push. Okay, so the last thing I want to do is get the new theme guy going. Oh, but it's midnight. Maybe I should circle back to that. I might circle back to that. How long do I think it's going to take? I really want it to do it, though. Okay, we're doing it. Yeah, I think we're going to do it. We're going to do it. So I think what we're going to do, though, is change this to not use this. So I think we're going to go xstatic, material design, dialog host, open dialog command. Yeah, that guy. Okay, so we're going to do that, which, if we're going to use a dialog, we should actually add a dialog. Material design dialog host. Boy, spelling is hard tonight. I blame the lack of Mountain Dew. Let's go here. Okay, so we need to give ourselves a dialog. So material design dialog host, dialog content. Okay, so for the dialog, I'm thinking maybe okay, cancel, and just a string for name. Maybe that's something we should add to the library. Simple dialogue for just accepting string input. Make it themed nice. That feels like something that should exist. Maybe it's an extension. That feels like that would be a nice little thing to be able to just drop that content in. I'll think about that. That might be it. That might not be a bad thing to just build out for people. Because I can see that being very popular. I mean, in WinForms, messagebox.show has been very popular for decades. So, okay, so we're going to go with grid. Let's see, we need 2 rows. I think in this case, row definition, height auto on both, because 3 rows. I think we'll do text, input, buttons. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Grid, column definitions. See, I kind of just want more. Do I need any more than 1 column? I think we only need 1 column. Let's just do 1 column. Okay, so text block, text. Enter the name for the new theme. And at some point, we're going to have it be based on something else, but text box. Let's see. Int assist, int, and we will do name, or something like that, and we will put you in row next. And then we will do stack panel, tip it on its side, and then let's actually shove it all the way to the right. And we'll do a couple buttons. So button, content. And now I can't remember. Is it okay, then cancel? Okay, got it. So okay comes first. Is cancel true. Boom. And then this becomes is default and command x static dialog host close dialog command there, but this one is going to have a command parameter binding. Let's give this guy a name, x name, the new theme Xbox. Boom, that'll work. So we will grab the text property off of that guy. That seems reasonable. Let's see. Identifier root. And I'm wondering if this guy should be... because I'm going to need something watching for when this button gets clicked. I'm wondering if maybe we don't use the routed command here and we go back to binding new theme command. We'll do that because we're going to need him to come back. So dialog host, extra points for spelling dialogue correctly. Show, this is a little bit bad. Let's see. Wait, string, new theme name. Let's see. task. I believe relay command is cool with this. Isn't there like an async relay command? Yeah, that's what we want. Func task. Not what I just gave you? What are you unhappy about? Oh, because I'm assigning you into a non-thingy. Okay, there we go. Let's see. And this will be as string. Why does that thing show that the content can't be? That's seriously true. If that's the case, we might need to correct that. That looks like it might be a bug. Because not being able to send null when I don't need the content. There either needs to be an overload. Oh, I guess I don't need a change. Come in here. Confirm that we are getting here. Oh, we are throwing. Okay. Oh, I guess it's actually probably my output dialog. Exception thrown. Argument null exception. Oh, look at that. Dumb. I will be fixing that in the library because that is... Okay, it popped, but where did it go? Close. Let's try this. Let's try this one more time. This time without breakpoints. Did I not set something up correctly? Seems to be there, but I don't see it. Where are you? Where are you? Snoop? Tell me where this dialogue is. Let's see, dialog host. There's the dialog host. Pop up. So it's open. Open, but there's no content? What? How? Grid content. Yeah, there is. Oh, it put the string through as the... It put the empty string through as the content. How can I just show the dialogue? That is really dumb. Because it wants the content to go all the way through. Okay. We will work around this for the moment by putting this as a template. But this is dumb. This should not be a thing. I should be able to do that. So the lack of overload made problems. Hey, look at that. So once again, I can't put things in their appropriate place. So grid row on the bottom, please. There we are. Let's get some space around this. So margin of, I don't know, 15 maybe? What does that look like? It's a little better. Need some space around the inner contents too. So maybe margin left top, let's do 10. A little space between the buttons. That's better. And then maybe some space between the buttons and the content. Yeah, that's not bad. Actually, let's do the space between the buttons and the content here. So left, top. So I should get foo here, correct? And then if I do cancel, should get an empty string. Good enough. Good enough for now. Okay, so that should work. Actually, it's gonna reuse it every time, isn't it? Yeah, whatever. Okay, so if we do create a new one, what does that end up meaning? So I think unfortunately we have to do the based on, because otherwise how do we know what to copy? Wow, you know what? I am starting to realize that my sanity is dropping. I might have to wrap it up there. So I'm thinking what needs to happen is in the new drop down, it needs to either leverage the existing, I'll just open it. It either needs to leverage whatever theme was selected here as it's based on, i.e. the file it should copy before creating a new, and then it should use that. The alternative option is we could do another drop down here to say based on, and then you just pick one from the list, because maybe what you have selected here isn't, like, it may not be intuitive to know that whatever's selected there is going to be the based on bit. I'm thinking it probably makes more sense to have a drop down here. It's okay. The thing is in order to do that, that's going to be, that dialog now needs its own view model, which actually now makes more sense with the setup here, so that it can kick something back that's a little bit more reasonable. Now it needs to return back a complex result, not just a string. Yeah, this will actually probably be a good example of how to do dialogues better, but I need to clean up the API on this. This is garbage. I apologize to everyone who's been forced to use this. There was a question I got on the chat room a couple weeks ago, and I didn't understand why the user was trying to do what they were doing. I think I just ran into the situation that they were in. They wanted to do something simple, and simple is hard. Complicated's easy, but you have to write a bunch of code for complicated, and the simple case is not simple. The simple case of I just want to show a message, or the simple case of I just want to to accept a string from a user. Those are use cases that should be easy, and they aren't. So for that, I am sorry to everyone. Or I just want to show my existing dialogue. I only have one. Just open, close, open, close. So the fact that this thing requires an empty thing to go through there is problematic. And I might have to go through and add some sort of extensions for this. So that might make a good follow-on video of fixing my problems here. So I think that's where I will end it for now. But let's get this stuff in. Let's see. Starting work on creating new themes. Boom. Cool. I might do that. Kind of excited about this one. If I get time, I may try and stream more than just the once a week and see if I can knock this guy out. This seems like something fun to finish building. We'll poke at it. I also do want I want to put a little more smarts into it too, because the JSON-C defaults are clearly files that I should not allow you to edit. So those things should be there, and I should have it stop trying to load up the markdown file too as JSON. That's just dumb. So I should really dial it down to just these things, and so this theme probably needs something on it for like is default or similar. That would be a good idea. Actually, you know what? We can just add that real quick. Public bool is default gets path. Come on, find it. Thank you. Get file or what is it? Get extension. Yeah, get extension. File path. String equals, and we're gonna do, I believe it's dot JSON-C default string comparison. I think we're just gonna do ordinal. Somebody gets fancy with it. Let's just check and make sure. Where's the load? Load theme brushes, load themes. So this should be, and then we're just gonna go where x is default. That should now land on mine. Because if I'm not going to allow you to edit non-default ones, then hey, look at that, worked like a charm. So, and that's actually, I should probably be filtering the default ones out of here. And I want to figure out why I have GitKraken dark in here twice. I'm kind of wondering if I made a mistake somewhere. It's very possible. I was playing around with this stuff, and I'm guessing I must have a second file where oh, no, it's almost assuredly that one. The one with my name on it, perhaps. Almost like I was testing. Here we go. Much cleaner. Much cleaner. That's what we want to see. Okay. Default to loading first on default theme. Yeah, because right now it does require somebody to go through and copy and paste a file, which is fine-ish. But we really should have the idea of based on and letting that build up, which means the combo box should probably be filtering which items it's displaying and all of that jazz. So maybe we'll do some collection view stuff and whatnot and have fun with it. Oh, did I just... Here, amend. I push quick before anyone pulls. Boom. It's there. So cool. Well, thank you to everyone who came in on the raid and hung out. Hopefully this was fun and interesting. If you like material design or WPF or C# in general, feel free to follow. I tend to do a lot of that stuff. If people are interested in finding me, you can find me. Let's see. There's all the links. Did I even type that? Did I go to the right page? No, I can't type. Links. There. Take two. Yeah, you can find all of the things. So, if you're interested, you can find the recordings of my past streams out on YouTube, and various stuff that I do. If you're interested in GitKraken, you can find that there too. And there is a Discord channel and whatnot, and yeah, we'll see how it goes. So thank you everyone for coming in and hanging out. It's been fun. It's been real. We'll see everyone next time. Happy coding.